Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are back again on a Monday night. This is the world's most dangerous podcast, Straight Shooting with Stevie Ray. Glad to have you all back again to hang out with your boy. And maybe Jimmy Tibbs himself might show up. You never know. But coming off another glorious weekend, hope everybody had a great one. Man, I've been working. Believe it or not, I've been working, taking care of things. So I haven't been able to enjoy the weekends too much. But we must do what we have to do. You know, it is what it is. And someone's calling me right now, but we'll take some phone calls a little later. But Matthew, what's up? Cron, what's up? Queen, what's up? Hope you guys are doing well out there. But hey, man, Lazy, what's going on? Yes, and I got news. You guys don't hear me. I got news. Now, I'm debating with myself whether or not I want to share my new news. But before the show is over, I'll have that debate with myself. And if I decide to share it, you guys will be the first to know. Now, Matthew, what you talking about? The Hall of Me song is seriously the best theme song in wrestling history. You think so, Matthew? You think so? Well, it's the one I remember more than anybody else's. I tell you that. You know, thanks to Jimmy Hart, I think. I think it's Jimmy Hart. I think Jimmy Hart produced that. And a lot of people don't know that Jimmy Hart is actually a musician, you know. And but before we start the show off, man, a good friend of mine from Michigan, man, Adam Deluxe. Adam has helped us with the show, you know, behind the scenes stuff. And you guys probably didn't know that, but you know, he had a big part in me starting this podcast. He helped me out a lot, man. And he lost his grandmother this past weekend. You know, he lost his grandmother at 95 years old, Grandma Sher Thurley. And, you know, she's going to be missed, but I want to let him know, man, that we're thinking about it, man. And the Queen also, we shot a shout out to your grandmother last week. And the Queen also, not a grandmother, but a mother, who's, you guys know the Queen is a big part of the show also. But that's what we do, man. We pay our condolences, man, to the people that we love. That's what we do. Because, man, when you live life and have so much to give back to the people underneath you and show people that life is worth living, and don't spend a lot of time on a lot of things that you shouldn't be spending time on. Live life and enjoy life, man. Life is a blessing. You know, Matthew, what you talking about? That young for his Brutus beefcake, man. I don't even know what y'all talking about, man. That's why, you know, man, it just behooves me when I see all these people on television, man. Everything on TV to me is entertaining, man. I see all the people. I want somebody to answer this for me. Seriously, somebody answer this for me. How can we live in a country with so many opportunities and so many people that's got and even getting more. But is it me or the people that got the most complain the most and bitch the most and want more? And the reason I say that is this. Brothers and sisters, your boy done been all over the world twice. So I look at my blessing of living in the United States a totally different way than some other people that live here. And that's why I say, tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if you see things differently than the way I see things. You know? Because at the end of the day, man, it ain't no such thing as a perfect world. I'm sorry. It ain't no such thing as a perfect marriage. I'm sorry. There's no perfect thing as a perfect government. Everything is a work in progress, and you have to make the best of it. But shitting on others, complaining about this, complaining about that, talking about civil war and stuff like that. Am I crazy? Am I crazy? I would like somebody out there to answer me. Give me your thoughts. When did the great country of the United States of America, everybody used to say, land of the free, home of the brave. What happened to the brave? Because there ain't no bitch in me. I walk it like I talk it. You know, I take the good with the bad. Because see, where I come from, you roll with the punches. Because it ain't nothing to it but to do it. That's where I come from. Maybe I'm just cut from a different cloth. I don't know. Half-breed, you don't think I'm crazy? Then somebody tell me what the hell's going on. Everybody bitching, moaning, groaning. I used to have this. I used to have that. I was making more money. Brother, I lived through, when I was a kid, CJ, what are you talking about? Larry, rest in peace, Larry Allen? CJ, I hadn't heard anything about Larry Allen passing away, man. I'm gonna have to check that out. I've been gone all day, man, so I ain't had a chance to listen to no news. But I'll get back to that in a minute. What I'm saying is, when I was a kid, it was a civil rights movement. And as a kid, you don't really understand things. But then when you get older and you start reading about things, you see why people have to sacrifice and do this, that, and the other just to be half-ass equal within governments that's trying to keep everybody down or certain people down. You got to fight for what you want, especially when you're being suppressed. But as time goes on, you get a little here, a little there. You make a little progress here and a little there. And that's how it is all over the world. But see, I done been to the Middle East where everything going on right now. Yeah, I spent a week in Lebanon driving around looking at buildings that are war torn. Because see, that country was invaded by Israel. And I'm sitting there talking to these brothers all night long one night. 4-5 brothers, 4-5 guys, Lebanese guys, and they're giving me the whole 411 on how that whole conflict started. Because I'm an inquisitive person. Because I know from what I was listening to on the news back in those days, you know, I'm quite sure it was totally different. But with all that being said, it opened my eyes to a lot of things, especially where I'm from and the way I came up. This country is going to shit. No, it ain't. No, it's not. Because, see, the people, the way everything is structured, the Bill of Rights, the Constitution, the people got the last say on everything. We just don't know it because we're always looking for a savior. We're always looking for a savior. And the savior is right in front of your face. You know who the savior is? You. But get off your ass and stop bitching and complaining. And make it happen. Put me in, coach. That's my mentality. I ain't one of the guys that sit on the bench. Let's do something about it. Bitching, moaning, groaning. This side don't like that side. And what? What? They looking at you, the peasants, and say, look, we got them. Look at them. We got them. If you ain't learned by now, you never will. Like I said, I done seen economy go up. I done seen it come down. I done seen things bad for people. I done seen things great for people. Got to take the good with the bad. Like my mother used to always say that. She used to say, son, sometimes the good got to suffer with the bad. That's just the way it is. But that don't mean it's going to be like that all the time. Because when you hold the very people that you put in office, when you hold their feet to the fire, he got to get up and do something, or she got to get up and do something. But if you just sit back and wait for him to do it, he ain't going to do shit. He going to get his bag. That's what he going to do. And look at you as a peasant. Anybody know anything about the Roman Empire? Anybody know anything about communism or the Soviet Union? Anybody know anything about all these different countries in Europe? They used to have kings, queens, so on and so on, and they all fell. Anybody know anything about that? They all fell from within. Yes. They all fell from within. All of them. Yes. And the same thing can happen to democracy if people don't wake up. Right here where you live. If people don't wake up. Stop bitching, moaning. Like I say, brother, every time I put the TV on, it's like I'm watching pro wrestling. I'm being entertained. Wow. Everything is theater for that dollar. Because, see, they don't get their bag one way or the other. Look at everybody that got rich from the coronavirus. Look at all the companies that got rich. Bet y'all don't even know what companies got rich because everybody was so goddamn scared. I don't want to catch the virus. I had people telling me that. I'm gonna take the injection. I ain't take shit. I'm proud of it. Something take me out. It's gonna have to take me. I'm not gonna give you a heads up. No way you finna put nothing in my body and then put it on the act of an emergency. And you can't even sue the companies. Yeah, that goes all the way back to Ronald Reagan. Yes. But look who got rich. Then they got Dr. Fauci up on Congress right now talking his shit. Same thing they did after 9/11, talking shit. And ain't saying nothing. Should have had his ass up on there when the shit went down. What about that? Yeah, same guy that was in charge of the AIDS virus. Yes, you can catch AIDS by standing next to somebody. That's what he said. He got his marching orders. Don't nobody get it, bro. Don't nobody get it. You want to be led around the sheep. Put me in, coach. I ain't going to bitch about it. I'm going to be about it. I don't believe shit you're telling me. I don't believe shit I see on television. Nothing. 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 but they entertain me. I love to be entertained. I love it. It's just like watching an old Star Trek episode. To me, I love that shit. Love it. I'm like a baby when you put a bottle in his mouth. I'm just suck that bottle and watch me some Star Trek. Yeah, that's what I do. Because I know I'm watching bullshit. And emotionally, I'm not invested. Hey, what you talking about? They got greedier and greedier. Took too much. Yeah, Bree, you right. That's what I'm talking about, brother, the bag. But who printing the money though, Bree? Who printing the money now? You dig? Ain't no gold attached to it no more. Ain't no silver attached to it no more. Who getting the bag, Bree? Who getting the bag? Who is that? Mike say, believe half of what you hear and none of what you see. Mike, tell me what the hell's going on. Why are people so easily influenced with bullshit? Tell me, Bree. Tell me, Matthew. Am I crazy? Is old Ray Dog crazy? Tell me, man. Because sometimes I think, is it me? Or do I live in a lonely, lonely world? I just want to know, bro. Mike, you don't think I'm crazy? Boo, how you feeling, bro? I'm good. You don't think I'm crazy? Because I done had some conversations with people that'll blow your mind, bro. I done had conversations with people that'll blow your mind, bro. And these people, six-figure people. Got it good. When food goes up, you buy less. When gas goes up, you drive less. When food comes down, you eat more. When gas comes down, you drive more. So in essence, you're still in the same fucking place. Because everybody gonna get their bag. Because you thought that free money came in when the coronavirus, you thought you wasn't going to pay that money back? Huh? Mike said he goes to college in Los Angeles and hears strange, weird stuff every day. Mike? All conversations are good, but some just don't make sense, man. I think we're living in a world of zombies right now, bro. So easily influenced by everything. And you know, that is what they say about societies and governments. Because once the people actually be aware of their surroundings and they're aware of what's going on with them, they will stand up. That's what Caesar said. Anybody remember, the Roman gladiators and all that? Whenever the people started to stand up, he gave them more entertainment. When Mark Antony asked him, how long do you think you can keep this up? What did Caesar say? As long as I can entertain them and feed them, I'm good. How did Rome fall? Because Caesar didn't know who his friends were. That's who took him down. Does that remind anybody of anything? What's up, J-Dog? Mike says, in the ear, not the other. Does anybody know anything about that? So you think Dr. Fauci gonna, he's a puppet. Everybody you see in front of you is a puppet. Like Willie and Lester. Anybody remember Willie and Lester? I appreciate that, CJ. CJ, we got to have this conversation, man. You've got mail. We got to have it, man. I don't even like to get into this. Y'all know what this show is about. Fun, bro. Fun, having a good time. Y'all know what I'm saying. You right, Harry. You bring in more gladiators and the people, brother, that's what you see on TV every day. The more controversial things are, the more money the networks make. Who owns the networks? The same people that own the politicians. Yeah. Same people. They run the whole media industry. I got to get this bag and I got to keep y'all fighting against each other. Now, news stations fighting against each other. Politicians fighting against it. So I came up at a time where politicians work together. Now it's pro wrestling. Heels against the baby faces. They showing their stuff. They showing their stuff. They said this lie. They said that lie. Who in the middle? Soaking it all up. Us. Us. Yeah, I believe that. Uh-huh. I think we should have a civil war. Yeah, you old fool, sit your ass down. You ain't gonna do nothing. That's what I would tell him if I was interviewing him. A civil war. Sit your ass down while I still let you. That's what we're going through, y'all. Come on, CJ. You know what I'm saying, man. And the best is the military-industrial complex. Yeah. What about that, Half-Breed? Half-Breed, I got a better one for you. We all know about the military-industrial complex after World War II and Eisenhower. Eisenhower. Remember him? President from 1952 to 1960. He warned the whole world about the military-industrial complex, and he used to be one of them. See, they don't talk about that. Eisenhower. And who was his vice president? Richard Nixon. Who got Richard Nixon into politics? Prescott Bush. Y'all see how this shit work? But call me crazy. Okay, I'll be crazy for you. I just wanted to bring that up tonight because I was just looking at so much stuff today and this last week on television, especially with this Donald Trump indictment, man, which is theater. Theater. I bet you right now, Donald Trump was like, man, I shouldn't have never got into politics. I did not know how dirty these people were. Yeah. That's what happens when you come into somebody else's world. They'll get you. They don't play fair. What the hell does that word mean? Fair. Don't mean nothing to nobody, bro. Not when I'm trying to get this bag. Anybody see Trading Places? Did you see that movie? Did you see what that movie was saying? You didn't get it, did you? I got it. And it's playing out right in front of your face. Mortimer. Yeah. Right in front of your face. But my main man, Jimmy Tibbs, is out there in the green room, dog. Let's bring him in because I'm getting worked up. I got to calm down. But sometimes we have to do this, y'all. Sometimes. Jimmy!
Are you able to hear me, sir?
Yes, yes.
Okay, I didn't have a chance to do the mic check. I apologize for being late. I've been up since 4 o'clock.
Jimmy always gives me time to start the show off with some of my rant and raves.
Yeah.
You know.
It's been a
But
long day, brother. So I'll probably tap out after 30 minutes or so.
oh,
But I
that's
was
okay,
thinking
man.
about coming to America and walking on the boardwalk, and he gives these hobos some money. Mortimer, we're back.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
But you had to have seen
The first
Trading
one.
Places
Yeah,
to get
yeah,
the joke.
exactly,
And I love when they do
exactly,
like that in movies. I love when they
exactly.
do that stuff because only a few people probably got it. You know,
Right.
we're back, man. So
Like, did you see the movie Staying Alive with John Travolta?
yeah.
At the beginning of that movie, John Travolta is like, he in a new place in his life now, and he's
Right.
walking down the street in New York, and he bumps into a guy, and the guy turns around and looks at him and walks off, and he looks at that guy. Did you know who that guy was?
No, who was it?
Sylvester Stallone. It was Sylvester Stallone produced that movie, Staying Alive.
Yeah.
And he bumped into him and he looked at him, but you if you wasn't looking close, you didn't recognize that was Sylvester Stallone.
I love esoteric humor. I know it's goofy, but I do. You remember when the NWO they were doing those skits, acting like Ric Flair and Arn Anderson.
Right.
And they did one of them where Kevin Nash was pretending to be the Grand Wizard.
Right.
And he had to, and he was, he looked just like Ernie. But not many people knew, what was going on. But it was so damn funny if you knew it. You're just laughing your ass off, man.
They did a lot of those kind of little, nuances in movies, man. And I can't think of them off the top of my head, but you know what I'm saying? You have to catch it. You know what I'm saying? You have to catch it. And those two I can think about. And they sitting there like bums. And the guy, that Eddie or what you gave him the money. And they were like, we're back. But that's what I'm talking about when I was telling the guys, have y'all watched Trading Places? You didn't get it. Because like Eddie Murphy said in that movie, the only way to hurt rich people is turn them into poor people.
Mm-hmm.
That's playing out right in front of your face. Ask Vince McMahon. Ask Alex Jones. Just came to his crib the other day. Hey, brother, don't you owe us $1 billion? Don't you owe us $1 billion, Alex? So I think you better get on the good foot, or we're gonna take everything you got. People don't play. $1 billion. I didn't say $1 million. $1 billion. That's $1,000 million.
Well,
you can't pay that back, man. Yeah. Nobody got those kind of assets.
Right.
Yeah. You might generate $1 billion, but that don't mean you got $1 billion. But Alex was trying to string it out. Billion. You don't believe me? Ask Rudy Giuliani. How much was his? 140 something? Jimmy? 140 something? Million?
In that neighborhood.
You ain't got that money, brother.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make you poor.
Yeah.
At an old age. You can't even die with your money, brother. Jimmy, you can't even get the money to your loved ones. I'm taking it, Jimmy. What you gonna do, Jimmy, when they knock on your door and say, Jimmy, I know you got about 50, 60, 70,000 saved up. Jimmy, I need that. I need it, brother. Because we got you on this. We got you on this. If the lawyer fees don't break you, everything else will. Right. Constitution.
Yeah. That's why people I went to this lady's house once and she had, it's kind of a funny story. You might get a kick out of it.
What's that?
This is in Wimberley, Texas. And Wimberley's a nice community outside of Boston. And I called up the night before to confirm the appointment. She said, okay, when you get to the property on the right-hand side, you'll see the, it wasn't Airbnb in those days. I think it was called Bed and Breakfast.
Okay.
And she said, here's the code. Just like she said, the bed and breakfast on the right-hand side. I go into the yard a little bit further down. Her house is on the left-hand side. and she kind of looked like, Roseanne Barr on a
Right.
bad day, And she told me that, I said, you have a nice, nice spread here. She said, yeah, I own 300 acres. My father left it to me when he passed on.
300. That's
and I don't know if you remember that episode of Sanford and Son with the dowry.
With the what?
The dowry with Betty Jean and Fred wanted
the one he was trying to get Lamont to marry.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Betty Jean was a real big girl and stuff.
Yeah, I remember.
So he's Lamont eating real. He's walking. She's talking to him. And she said, "Yeah, I come into some money. $10,000." And Lamont goes, "You don't say." you don't say. So when she said,
and the stepdaddy and Fred were trying to hook this thing up so they could get it. Yeah.
It was a great episode written by Richard Pryor and Paul Mooney.
Okay.
Anyway, so Lamont said, "You don't say." He changed his voice, his tone. So when she told me 300 acres, Steve, I went, "Wow!" And she went from looking like Roseanne Barr to Britney Spears. I ain't gonna lie to you, Steve. I look both eyebrows back, Steven. I might have some action here. But 300 acres, and I said, "Well, miss, I would be afraid to own that much land because I would be afraid of someone growing marijuana or something on the property, and they don't arrest, but they don't arrest you; they arrest the property." And you talking about thousands of dollars to get all that shit cleared up, and I mean that's a long way.
300 acres. I don't even know how they're gonna find them.
Well, she says that they ride around and blah. I said, yeah, but still, I just wouldn't want to have that because again, I would be paranoid about the property being arrested, not me personally. Because they don't arrest you personally; they arrest the property. So,
right.
And stuff. So anyway, I'm trying to answer your question around about on your statements that this is what's happening to people like Jones and we gonna tie you up in knots, brother.
Bruh. Dog, Jimmy, I told everybody this was gonna happen. Nobody believed me because nobody do their historical research. Come on, bruh.
But Steve,
come on, brother.
Shit changes so fast, man. I want you to go back to 1990.
Okay.
Morris Day and the Time, they came out with their own album,
that they produced.
Yeah, that was the downside. Okay. They Prince was no longer in the picture, and it was the Drizzling Shits. But one of the tracks, this is 1990, it was called Donald Trump Black Version.
And
let me do you, Stevie. Don't believe me, look it up. Don't believe, look it up. The term 19.
That's how I sound.
That's how you sound. When you go off, you're awesome. But it was called Pandemonium. Was the name of the album.
Okay, I think I remember that.
Yeah, and
think I remember that album flopped.
That's what I'm saying. It was the Drizzling Shits. But one of those songs was Donald Trump Black Version. So things change when you change or you try to go in a different direction or whatever.
Yes.
It really, and I wish more people, like you and I talk, I just wish more people were professional wrestling fans from our era. Right. And they can see how the world works.
Right. Yeah, that's a good analogy.
Absolutely. They can see how this thing works, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh my God. Everybody loved Ole Anderson, and then he had the big swerve and back to absolutely, it's kabuki theater.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I picked up a new client last week, Stevie, when the indictment, when the judgment came down or whatever. And so I never met the lady. I'd done a couple of exams for her, but I happened to go to the office to do someone else. And she was there, I introduced myself. And she starts going off about this Trump thing. And, you're talking to somebody, they just get real intense.
Right.
You just, see, it was Trump who said, don't worry about Hillary. Let's move on. Don't put her, just all this ass backward shit.
And that means nothing.
And that's what, but I'm trying to tell us, honey, no one's going to jail. No.
Right.
If he could, it'd be 125 years. No one, they don't. We don't do that in the system. Hillary's not going to jail, and she doesn't know. She doesn't get it. I said, do you know who was on the committee when the shit went down against Richard Nixon? Hillary Clinton. This is all a game. No one's going to jail. Bill Clinton's not. She's not. It's not going to happen.
No.
And if he does go to jail, Popeye's a sissy. Okay.
This whole thing, Jimmy, is not even about going to jail. This is about an indictment because see, that's the prelude.
That's right.
See what I'm saying? That's the prelude. Yeah. See, it's like if we can convince 12 people on 34 counts, this is to let the whole world out there know, and everybody that lives in America, if I can influence that, brother, I can influence anything. Y'all don't get it. You ain't bigger than whoever really run it, and you never will be. This stuff about draining the swamp. Brother, this is how many times I've had this conversation, Jimmy, and we don't really talk about politics and this kind of stuff very much. But I got to say this. Jimmy explained to me this. And Matthew, I want you to listen to this. Real cool, I want you to listen to this. And somebody else I was just listening to. I want to see who that was. I can't remember who it was, Jimmy. See if I can pull them back up. Well, I ain't going to worry about it. I can't remember. I'll pull them back up in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy, this is my thing. Jimmy, if I can steal an election in a country between 330 and 350 million people, okay, 220 white, 220 million white, 64 million Hispanic, 41 million African American. And then you got everything else. If I can pull off the biggest heist of stealing the election in the biggest, strongest economy and the biggest, strongest democracy in the world, Jimmy, what's going to stop me from stealing anymore? Anybody ever think about that?
No.
What, Jimmy, if I can do that, Jimmy, what else can I do? Seriously, what else can I do? If I stole that one, I steal the next one.
Mm-hmm.
And the one after that too. So that's the part nobody ever talks about. If the election was stolen, which a lot of people in this country believe it was stolen, they were stuffing the ballot boxes. Well, somebody better go tell Rudy Giuliani about saying that shit in public. Cost him about 140 million.
Right. And the woman that I can't think of the woman, the lawyer. What was the woman that was talking about some there was some connection with Venezuela and all this kind of stuff.
Oh no. Yeah. Was it Venezuela or was it you talking about the voting machines? Dominion voting machines.
Yeah, but no, I can't think of her name right now. But she, stand like that and she
I think that was Arena Haba.
There you go. Whatever. Yeah, see, her ass had to shut up because she got in trouble. You can make all these, but you better be able to prove all this stuff.
You got to be able to prove it. Well, this is the thing. How much money did it cost Fox News?
Yeah.
$780-something million? $787 million?
Yeah.
Jimmy, I ain't got that kind of money to be giving nobody just to promote whether it's true or not. I'm not getting into that.
Yeah.
Brother, that's a lot of money. I'm just saying.
Right. But you haven't heard from her since. They shut her ass up in a heartbeat because you can't prove that. You can't prove this shit. And the thing is, man, the average person ain't paying attention, Stevie. You'd be surprised, man. You look. Everybody's in their own world, and right now you got people saying, "Well, if I'm the president, could be a felon, then they need to take all that off the applications when people apply for jobs, or you can, blah blah blah, all this kind of stuff. So it's about throwing some dirt on somebody and mucking them up. And I will tell you one thing. Trump helps him because he just keeps running his damn mouth and blabbing and blah, 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 blah,
brother.
blah, blah, blah,
I'm saying that's why he was chosen to be the patsy.
Yeah,
that's my theory. He was chosen to be a patsy. See, you can't get a good guy, a sensible guy, to be a patsy. You have to get a narcissist because he's a public guy that loves the attention. You see what I'm saying? That can't possibly believe I could ever do anything wrong because I got all these people following me. See, that's a John Gotti type mentality. So that's why I say he was the chosen one to do everything that we've seen. This theater. See, Jimmy, you can't get a real guy to do theater because a real politician does not do theater.
Yeah.
But a person from that world, that theatric world, just like you was talking about the guys that did the album and had his name in there. And his name has been going through all kind of different annals of music through the years. You know what I'm saying? Because of what? People looked at him as that beacon. That beacon. So whoever put this big theater production together, just like when Norman Lear's wife seen Jimmy Walker and she said, that's your guy to play JJ.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Somebody seen him, knew his background, and go, that's the guy we're going to make president of the United States of America. Then once we pump him up, then we got to bring him down because he's going to be the one to front while everybody looking at this over here. We going to be robbing the world over here.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, turn you all against each other.
Oh, yeah.
Brother, it's old as the crucifixion. But once people get so emotionally involved, kind of like religion. Because once people get emotionally involved, Jimmy, I got you.
Mm-hmm.
I got you, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Even though you can go to the Middle East and see ain't no white people there, but you still come home and look at that picture on the wall and say, that's my white Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is, brother. That's what I'm saying. All of this stuff is connected. I ain't trying to say I ain't on one side or the other, but I love watching it play out, Jimmy, because it gives me something to talk about. Wait a minute. Mike just said they even jailed Alan Freed for promoting black rock artists alongside white one. Yeah, I remember that, man. You remember Alan Freed? You know, he was I think he was from that Pittsburgh area. Yeah. And he used to promote all those musical groups and stuff back in the day. You know, black and white. I remember that. They didn't want that.
The movie. I remember watching the movie.
Did they do a movie about it?
Yeah, well, not him specifically. There was this movie about it, and he was.
But they put it in other contexts, like they didn't use his name and stuff. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, and it was good. And in the end, he tells the guy, "You'll never be able to stop rock and roll." You know, that's what
never be. Yeah, I remember that.
Remember that? Yeah,
I remember that.
And remember, he drives up, and these black guys outside do up and says, "Come take a ride with me." You know, yeah, that was a good movie.
I can't remember who starred in that.
Old movie.
Oh man, yeah, but your boy, who put that? Wilco. Yeah, you're right, Wilco. I remember that. You're right.
Yeah,
brother.
We got old memories, brother.
I remember that. Alan Freed.
Old memories.
Yeah, Alan. Yeah, he was a real deal, man, and that started years ago. Yeah. He was the first one to start pushing that.
Yeah,
and got a lot of heat for it.
A lot of heat.
Lot of heat for it, bro.
Yeah.
Lot of heat.
Yeah.
You know, and you talking about that movie, I would have never remembered that if you never brought it up.
Yeah, there was there's so much. I remember one movie about that time period, and it might have been The Spinners or somebody like that, but they showed them on the road in the South. One half of the audience was white, the other half of the audience was black.
That's how they used to do it. Remember they did that in the Temptation movie. They showed a scene like that in the Temptation movie.
Okay, well, remember Temptation. Yeah. I just think that stuff is so funny.
Yeah. Beauty's only skin deep.
That sounds right. Yeah. So funny scene. It's divided right down the middle. And you know damn good and well somebody hooked up.
Oh yeah,
Somebody
we're
looked
gonna
on
get
the
to
other side. What your name is, gal?
now.
So,
You seen that in the what was the movie with Queen Latifah? It was a play that they turned into a movie.
okay.
And you seen that in that movie. Do you remember the movie I'm talking about?
I can't remember.
It was a song. It was a song and dance movie.
So yeah.
Oh man, I can't think of the name of that movie. Good movie too.
Yeah.
Not Chicago, Matthew.
Yeah.
Queen Latifah wasn't in no Chicago. What you talking about?
That's funny. So,
Was it hairspray? Was it hairspray?
There you go. And they hooked up. Wasn't supposed to hook up.
Well, the guy at the end was looking at the girl across the way right there, because they were trying to get the blacks and the whites together in the theater. You know what I'm saying? They was all dancing and singing. Great movie. My daughter turned me on to that movie when she was a kid, man. I love that movie, man. Whatever. I can't think of the name of it though. I think it was Hairspray. Well, the little chubby white girl had won the contest, and they were trying to keep her from being on the contest because they want the little pretty girl on. You know what I'm saying? But she had won. Sure. Oh my God, it's a great movie. It was a play with Ricky Lake started the play.
Okay.
Now Ricky Lake started the play, and then she did. Yeah, it was. Yeah, but they had another girl. Yeah, Matthew just said Hairspray. Yeah. By the time you got something right, Matthew. He talking about Chicago.
And they hooked up. Yeah.
Yeah, they got ready to.
I like when they do those human interest stories. If you ever watch Sunday Morning on CBS. They do a lot of human interest stories, and that's
right.
They come on for years. Used to be Sunday Morning with Charles Perrault.
Yeah. I remember that.
And they profile this lady. Her this guy back in the 60s they met. Okay. And obviously they hooked up, but she always thought about him, and years went by, and she's got a big old ass house in South Carolina, someplace like that, and she decided to look this man up. Black guy, woman was white. Okay. And she finds the guy. He had some hard times. He became, I think, homeless, and she finds him in this nursing home. Okay. And he's just debilitated to the ninth degree. I mean, he's like that. You can't even recognize the guy. And she moves him out of the nursing home into her house because she's divorced now. Right. And then they get married. Okay, and I'm like, yeah, I'm looking at you. Oh my God, and I think you would do like I did. You can read between the lines. You see what happened in 64, 65. That nigga tore that pussy off. But because of the time, she could. Right. But she remembers that that soul pole all them years. All of a sudden in the year 20.
Still thinking. Wonder whatever happened to him. Yeah, a lot of people don't know. And we talk about a lot of things and stuff like that. Right. Like marriage licenses and stuff like that, y'all. Right. Y'all don't realize where marriage licenses came from. That's to keep tabs on people so people wouldn't interracially marry each other. This all started back in the 30s and 40s. Yeah. Before that, none of that stuff was even relevant. Now it is. And see, a lot of that stuff is still on the books up until the late 60s, early 70s. In some states, it might still be on the books to this day. We don't even know. If you research it. That is where that movie that they did about that couple with their last name was Loving. Yeah, they're the ones that broke that down. Yeah. And bucked the system. Yeah. Two people. That's what I was talking about earlier tonight. When you're ready to fight for something. Yeah. So how many people would have succumbed to that heat? And he said, no, this is my lady. And she said, no, this is my man. I'm ready to die for him. And he said, I'm ready to die for her. That's how strong love really is. Not this chicken shit we see today. Yeah. That's how strong love, the emotion, love really is. They both ready to die for each other. That's real.
Yeah.
We making jokes about it, but that's real.
Oh yeah.
Ron, big dog, your boy Chris got on me for saying AEW is a stunt show last week. Now look, Adam Copeland messed his leg up at 50 plus years and jumping off the cage for a damn pop. For I didn't know that. I didn't know that. But if Chris got on you for that, I don't think he really got on you like you didn't know what you're talking about, because that's exactly what I've been saying. You know what I'm saying, on regular shows. That's what we was talking about, and I think you made that assessment. But I agree with you. I remember when you said that. I remember reading that. Now, I don't think Chris was disagreeing to the point where he was 100% against your comments, but I have to go back and look at the show. But be it as it may, that's something I've been saying for a while. When people are breaking their necks for a pop on television, it's just a matter of time, brother. It's just a matter of time. I don't care if it's AEW. You only see WWE doing that kind of stuff when it's a big, big pay-per-view. And I'm going to tell you something about WWE. Brother, they go over the zillion times before you ever see it on television. AEW, I'm not so sure. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to get somebody, I'm going to make a couple of phone calls. And I'm going to get somebody on the show. I'm going to try to do it before we do the next three the hard way next week. And let's try to get somebody from AEW so we can talk about that. I think that's a hell of a conversation. What you think, Jimmy?
Yeah, man, absolutely. Back in the old days, Steve, that Jimmy Tibbs, the old guy, when you came off the top rope with a knee, that was a disqualification, right?
Right. Or throwing you over the top rope.
Yeah, and look at what you have today. So look, it's only a matter of time before someone coming off the cage is not enough. You got to come off the building, off the sky.
Oh no, yeah, you got to come off the top of the building, bro.
Yeah.
I see people sending me these clips on YouTube all the time of guys doing stuff, and I'm like, "What are you doing, man?"
Yeah.
I mean, how much money you getting paid tonight? $10 in an outlaw show, 20 at the most, and you trying to show somebody how you can be a daredevil? It ain't worth it, man. It ain't worth it.
And you can't, you no matter how you feel about it, even back when we were watching, those people are professionals. You cannot do what they do. There was a guy on YouTube, I think I sent you the clip.
What's that?
And it's in the backyard, and the NWO music is playing, and he looks the part. He's on the turnbuckle, and he turns around, and when he jumps, your knee goes like that.
Right.
His knees went in. They went in.
Do I remember that one? I done got so many of them sent to me.
Steve, if you watch, you'll hold your knees when you watch it. Both his knees go in, and he falls
I know what you're saying.
down.
I know what you're saying.
It's like, match hadn't even started yet.
Right.
Okay. But oh my God, it's something to see. If you see it, you will hold your knees and say, "Oh, Jesus Christ,"
Right.
But again, this cosplaying, this stuff, don't do what you do. You was trained by Ivan Podusky as Jesse.
I was trained by Scott Casey.
All right, okay. I thought it was Ivan. I thought it was Ivan Podusky school or something.
It was his school. It was his school.
Okay, there you go. I'm half right. But anyway, you were trained to do that. And it may look simple, until you get your ass in that ring.
Well, this is the thing. What I'm saying, that's what I was just trying to explain. Those kind of things got to be rehearsed over and over and over again because, man, you're putting people's lives in danger. But what I'm saying is, I don't know if the guys at AEW do that. Vince and them, they do that, man. Before they do anything death-defying, they practice it over and over and over again. Like I said, I'm looking at people sending me, like you was talking about that guy. Well, he ain't practiced that. He probably just got to the building an hour before. So how you gonna practice stuff like that? And then I'm looking at this guy, he's on the top of the way up there on the wall, and he got a table. This is way away from the ring. Okay, this way back in the building. And all the people are standing up looking. And he's going to jump off from top of this building and jump on this guy laying on the table. I know he ain't practiced this. You know how I know? He missed. It hit the floor because, you know, the table breaks your fall. He like died, you know, just jumped to his death almost. He missed the guy, hit the floor, and the guy on the table rolls off. I guess to try to go down to see if he's okay or whatever. I don't mean to laugh, but this is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Leave that kind of shit to the professionals. The people ain't paid no $200 to come in here to see this. Right. They might have paid $10, $15 at the most. Don't kill yourself for nothing.
Yeah.
I got into it with a guy on Facebook a few years ago about that. And he was like, saying, well, everybody's trying to make their mark, Stevie Ray. You know, what signature mark did you ever make? My signature mark is being here. My signature mark is being here. Yeah. My signature mark is being here talking to an idiot like you right now. That's my signature mark. I'm here to talk to you. And I had a long career. That's my signature mark. Because I'm not stupid. Because I'm not stupid. So who's going to remember somebody at an outlaw show? You know, but that's the mentality. You see what I'm saying, Jimmy? You actually think you're doing something. You're really not. Signature. People that's in the big time, in the big leagues will look at that and never hire you. You know why? You're too stupid to work with me. You're too stupid to work in my organization. Because if you're dumb enough to do that at that level, what the hell would you do in a dressing room like this? That's the way the business works. If anybody like that, it doesn't know. That's the way the business works.
And even with the stuff that happened with Andy Kaufman.
Right.
Okay. And it was done in such a smart way. In other words, Jerry Lawler could have really beat the shit out of the guy.
Right.
You know, but it was done in, you know, entertaining way, but to get the point across.
Right.
You know, he does the you know, the backflip, but at one time, boom, and Andy's laid out and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
I mean, good Lord, if that was done today, he would, you know, put him in the figure four and throw him across the ring and all. No. He did enough to say that, hey man, you know, this is our, you know, this is our business. You got no
right.
That. And that from there, I think that thing went on for what, another 2 or 3 months.
Let me tell you something, Jimmy.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you something right now. Jimmy, that was one of the most entertaining things I ever seen in professional wrestling.
It was awesome.
That was, oh my God. Look, I'm getting goosebumps right now. Andy Kaufman, brother, I was in stitches. Some of the stuff that he used to say. Remember when he used to get in the ring and talk about women? What if he had did that today?
Stevie, I missed all of it, man. I missed all of it. I was in summer school when they did the thing on David Letterman.
Uh-huh.
I was typing up a term paper.
Okay.
10:30 at night. I'm in my room, little bitty black and white TV on. This shit comes on. This is the greatest television moment, in my opinion. You know, Oh my God. I mean, the whole thing, you know, they show a part of the match, and, you know, I can hear Lance Russell for the first time. You know, that's going to be a disqualification for Jerry Lawler. They're going to ring the bell. Jerry Calhoun's going to give them, you know. You know, I'd never seen Memphis wrestling before. It was so exciting.
That was my first time, too.
First time.
That was my first time, too.
Yeah.
I had seen, huh?
You were reading about it in the magazine.
I was just about to say that. I knew Jerry Lawler. I knew Jerry Lawler and a whole bunch of other people from around the country, from magazines, from wrestling magazines.
So you knew of the Coliseum.
Huh?
You knew of the Memphis Coliseum.
Right.
You had never seen in matches, and it was just so exciting to see that little 30-second clip. And oh my God, it just
Oh my God!
That's how they made money in those days, man. And it was so damn good, you know, because then it was over. He went back to Hollywood. Lawler got into a feud with Ric Flair for 10 minutes on TV.
Right.
Everything, nothing was really interrupted and blah blah blah. So
Hey man, they did something that had never been done before. And by the mere fact that Andy Kaufman was the biggest professional wrestling fan on earth, the guy, what kind of money did he generate for that little territory for that little short period of time, brother? Golly. I mean, for about a year. How long did that go on?
I'm saying, I think that went on for close to a year, because then he started being a manager and,
right.
blah, 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 and then him and Jimmy Hart got into the silliest fight you would ever want to see on TV. And but what was so funny, man, when he passed on, Stevie, they found out that Andy never cashed any of the checks.
I heard that.
He never cashed any of the checks.
I heard that.
He had that much respect for the business. He just refused to get paid. And when he passed on, he found all the damn checks, and they were never never cashed. And it's
wow.
Like, I get goosebumps thinking about that. That this guy really respected the business, and Vince McMahon, his dad, he was like, no, we don't do that kind of stuff up here. We don't.
Yeah, because I heard he offered it to them first.
Yeah, and Vince said, hell no, not up here. And he was adamant about that. And he was also adamant about his son. He says, no, my son doesn't wrestle.
Right.
He made him a comment. Yeah. I wish I would have met Vince McMahon, because he seemed like a real regal man, and the way he ran his business. And, anyway, but I'm going to get off track. But yeah, he never cashed the checks, and it was just like, wow, man. So he made some money for that promotion, for that time.
Unbelievable, man. Like I said, that was the funniest, because I was a big Taxi fan. I was a big Taxi fan. Remember when he played Latka Glavis? Thank you very much. You know what I'm saying? And then, you see guys like that, because that was his big breakout. And then when you see him doing stand-up or doing an Elvis Presley gimmick, you go, that's Latka? I didn't know the guy was a comedian. You know what I'm saying? Because I only seen him on Taxi.
But he playing a Russian guy on TV. Yeah. And the funny thing about that, Stevie, is that when he would tape an episode of Taxi, he would leave Taxi, go to some restaurant nearby, punch in with a time card, and work as a busboy for a little while. Just a bizarre guy. Yeah,
he was out there, man. He was out there. I heard a lot of people on the docket. Yeah, I heard a lot of people on documentaries tell some of those stories that you're telling right now. The guy was Andy Kaufman.
Yeah.
He lived in his own world, man.
Yeah. I don't know if that was ever captured in Man on the Moon, movie. But you hear a lot.
They might have. I remember seeing that. Yeah. They might have, but I can't remember, because I've only seen that movie a couple of times, so I can't remember it verbatim. But they might have. But or they said a little innuendo about it. They might not have showed it, but somebody spoke about it to just give you a, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Let you know exactly what he was doing or something like that. Yeah. Man on the Moon, man.
Probably was a good movie, but you never guess what I saw 2 weeks ago.
What's that?
You never guess, because I have HBO now, and I can get I look on there. The Von Erich movie came on.
I saw that too.
Oh my God. When I go to Charlotte, Kevin, you and I need to talk.
I think it was a decent movie. I think it was a decent movie. Paying homage to the Von Erichs. But this is what got me. Tell me if you agree or disagree.
Okay.
They pretty much focused on Kevin's life, and I guess because he's the final one living.
Yeah.
But it seemed like the kid that was playing Kevin should have been playing Kerry.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? He should have been playing Kerry because he's the bigger, muscular one.
Yeah.
And the guy they playing Kevin should have been Kevin. I mean, Kerry should have been Kevin. Yeah. But they had to. What the other? What's the kid's name? He's got the star power right now, so I understand why they did that.
Zach, whatever his name is.
Zach Efron. Matter of fact, the movie we were just trying to talk about, Hairspray.
Yeah,
he was one of the stars of that.
But there you go.
That's why I first seen him at, because my daughter knew who he was, like a teen idol. You know what I'm
But
saying?
and I just look as a wrestling fan, I hate watching these movies because everything is just so out of context. And Kerry wins the title, and 2 minutes later, his foot is amputated, and none of this stuff happened this way.
But the thing is, they're not doing a documentary. They're
Right.
doing a movie.
They're telling it from
You know,
like Kevin
right.
narrating the movie, basically.
Because you can't do, if you do it like it's told to you, it'll never sell.
Well, yeah, I mean, it'd have to be on TV for a whole week or something like that.
You know what I'm saying?
You can't
not even so much as that.
Yeah.
They got to make theater
yeah.
out of anything that's real.
Yeah, but
if it's not theatric,
yeah.
nobody's going to watch it.
Yeah, but I don't recall him losing the entire foot. I thought he lost.
That's my point. That's my. Oh, he did.
See, they showed. They
he
showed
did
no
it. He did that right down the street in Galveston, Texas. I remember when it happened.
Yeah, they showed no foot. He had lost half the foot. You know, and
no. His whole gimmick was gone.
Okay.
He had a special made boot and everything.
So he lost the entire foot.
Yes.
Now, see, I always thought it was half. Okay.
No. That's Don Gollitz, the drag racer.
Jesus Christ.
Don Gollitz lost half his foot when the motor blew up back in the 60s. And that's when the drag racers had the big motor in front of them. That's when they started putting the motor behind the drag racers because it blew half his foot off.
Yeah. Well,
that's why Kerry walked the way he did.
Yeah, let me ask you this question. That being the case, if the entire foot was amputated, how in the hell can you wrestle with
Dog, I don't know. He had a special boot. If you look at his boot, if you go back and look at some of the tapes, this boot is different than this one. It's much thicker. You know what I'm saying? And he just learned to walk with it. And he learned to wrestle with it.
Woo.
Yeah. He's
motorcycle. Balance and
right. Yeah, but he just learned how to do it because the thing about him, he went to school here. He went to college here at the University of Houston. So, you know, up in Dallas, you got a lot of lakes, but down here, you got the Gulf of Mexico. And it's the best place in the world to ride a motorcycle at. I don't know what happened in the accident, but I remember when it happened. You know what I'm saying? Because not so much news, but people talking about it. You know what I'm saying? The guy from wrestling got hurt on a motorcycle. And they kept that shit a secret for years. They kept it secret for years.
It's amazing, man.
Yeah.
I remember.
No, I know. I tell you when I saw it when I worked with him. Remember I told you that we went to the Virgin Islands?
No, I remember that story. Yeah, I
didn't tell you that story?
No.
Yeah, and I seen him putting his stuff on. That's when I saw it in the dressing room. I didn't tell you about when we got ran off the island by the natives.
No. I mean, if you did, I don't remember it. But it's like,
yeah, it was like a Johnny Quest movie.
Yeah, damn.
Yeah, man, I had to run, bro. I can still put it in high gear back then, man.
Right.
They was trying to get your boy, man.
It's amazing, man. You guys are something else, man. Athletes. I mean, I'm sorry. I think if Tom Brady lost a foot, he would be finished.
Who's that?
You know, Tom Brady.
Oh no. You can't do that in football. See, in wrestling, we can protect the guys. We can protect you. And do what you don't want to do and move, you know what I'm saying? So you can take care of yourself. In football, you can't plant. You need your balance. You can't plant. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can lose a toe in football and that'll end your career.
Right.
Jack Lambert.
Yeah.
If anybody remember the great Jack Lambert, middle linebacker for the Pittsburgh Steelers, he retired because of turf toe.
Right. Yeah.
Deion Sanders.
You say, oh, well, it's just
same thing.
No. You need those puppies.
I know. What I'm saying is you can never get your balance. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I don't know which one of Jack Lambert's toe it was, but he just said, I'm done. Because he didn't want to go through it never would heal. It didn't heal until he retired. Because as long as he was using it, you know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
As long as you're using it, it ain't gonna heal. He didn't heal until he retired. But he had such a great career, I guess, because he retired when he was like 32.
Yeah.
And he was still on top. But you know, it is what it is, man.
It's amazing, man, that you guys, that you all do what you do in that ring.
Yeah, but Kerry was amazing. Another thing that hit the boot, another thing that hit the special boot, he had those long tassels. Remember that? He would always wear those long tassels.
Yeah.
And you can watch him when he run. If he run to the ropes, you can watch how he would skip and then take a step. Skip and then take a step. Yeah.
Well,
Kerry was an amazing dude, man.
Yeah, I thought one of the interesting statements that kept but he didn't make it in the movie. It was like he said he used to be the oldest of 4 brothers. Now he's the oldest of none. You know, it's like, oh my God, you know. Just,
oh, you're talking about Kerry?
Yeah, Kevin. When Kevin made that statement,
I mean Kevin, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, you know, oh my God, you know, I used to be the oldest.
And that was probably something.
Power on.
You know, like if you telling somebody your story,
yeah,
and you say something like that, then they find a way to put that in the movie and Hollywood it up. You know what I'm saying?
It wasn't in the movie.
Something like that.
It was one of them documentaries I saw.
No, what I'm saying is that's what Hollywood does.
Yeah, that's why I'm shocked
like
they didn't do that. I'm saying I'm shocked they didn't do that.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Right, they didn't do that. But I just, you know, when I think about that statement, like, it's so damn profound. I could not imagine surviving that many family members. You know, because how is he still living? You know, how is he?
He good, man. And the thing is, he always been a level-headed guy, bro.
Yeah.
I remember taking my daughter with me to a convention in New York back when she was in high school, and he was there. And this was back when Lacey, Kerry's daughter,
right? I
think she was working in what TNA. I think she was working in TNA at the time.
Sounds right.
And Lacey Von Erich, and he and I were talking in the lobby, and he was like, "Hey, Stevie, this your daughter?" And I'll go, "Yeah, man, this is my daughter Alana." I said, how did Carrie? And she's like, "Hi, Carrie." And he was like, "Did you ever tell her when we got ran off the island?" No, he asked her, "Did your dad ever tell you when we got ran off the island in the Virgin Islands?" And I was like, "Oh man." And then she was like, "No, I don't think you ever have." He's like, "Hey man, I'm in Hawaii right now, brother. You ever come over to visit, holler at me, man. You can come live with me." That's Kerry Von Erich, man. That's my man.
Kevin, yeah.
But everybody, I hope you enjoyed the show tonight. And I will be back Thursday night, hopefully, with Sonny Ono. Jimmy and Sonny will be going back and forth on Thursdays and Tuesdays when we got things going on. But be that as it may, hey, man, appreciate everybody joining the show. And like I said, think about my man. Well, I'm thinking about all my men. Think about all of them, man. We got to get by this. I'm working on some things. I told you I had some news, but I decided not to tell you tonight. I'm going to keep it to myself for another week or so, and then I might expose it next week. But for my man Jimmy Tibbs, I am Stevie Ray, and if you do nothing else in life, you got to be one.
And happy belated birthday to your daughter and my daughter. Both born in May.
See you. And I would not want to be you. Oh, man, now you're getting it in. All right.